So we're going to have a look at how we can use our graphics calculator to plot a graph that has a specific domain. So if you're asked, for example, what is the range of this, a really good way of doing it is plotting it. So menu 5, and then we're just going to draw our graph, and then we're going to specify the domain. So we say comma, and then we need to use a square bracket, which is down here. So there's our square bracket, and then we put the lower value, comma, and the upper value, close our square bracket and press execute. And then when we draw it, we can see that we only have the graph from the point -2 up to 3. Now notice obviously that we can't specify that it's less than or equal to or less than, but we can reflect that in our answer. So if we wanted to find the range, we can use the G-solve to tell us what the minimum point is. So we can see the lowest point it can be is 3, and it actually is 3, so we can do greater than or equal to. And then if we use G-solve again, we can find, now it won't let us find a maximum point, which is a bit annoying, but we can see that the maximum point is at the end in terms of our range. So we can either then say, well, if x equals 3, then the top of it is 12, but we know that it can't actually be 12, so it's less than 12. What we could also do is, if you go to trace, you can trace to the end of the graph. So press trace, and then you can move around. So we can see that it goes all the way from x is -2, y is 7, all the way up from x is 3 and y is 12. Now we can use this same idea to draw a piecewise function. So I'm going to have a go at doing this one down here. So in order to draw this, even though they both form part of the same function, we're going to split them up into two different bits. So it'll be 2x - 3, comma, square bracket. And now if we just want it to be less than 2, there isn't a, in theory it should be from -infinity up to 2, but we don't need that on the graph. So let's just go from something reasonably big, -1000, up to 2, shut our bracket. And then we do the second one, so 2x squared -7, comma, and then at the other end we're going to do the same thing. So it's anything from 2 up to, let's make it 1000, close bracket. Now when we draw them, now we've got a bit of a weird view of this. Let's go to view window, let's set it to initial, see what that looks like. Ooh, that's a bit better. So if we zoom out a bit, we can see that we're going to have them coming up to 2, and we can see that at that point where they both meet is the point 2, 1. Now obviously if we were going to sketch this, we can see that it's less than 2 and greater than or equal to 2. So we know that the one that's less than would end in an empty circle, and the one that's greater than would end in a filled in circle.